So imagine this. You're on a road trip across America and you're in East Tennessee and you're a little bit hungry. It's getting dark out. You need to stop somewhere quick to eat. You see the Golden Arches in the distance, but just past that, you see something even better. You see the giant hot dog, burger, and fries that angels have laid upon you on the bright blue background that is Pal's Sudden Service. You've never seen a Pal's Sudden Service before. So, why not go there, huh? The line is out all the way to the highway, past the parking lot, but you decide, hey, that means it's good, right? There's a lot of people there. Must be good. So you pull in, you get in no time. You pull up to the first window. There is no speaker to order your food. It's a little bit awkward because you've never been there and the person is literally just staring at you, but everyone goes through it, don't worry. You look at the menu. It's pretty much American classic items. It's hot dogs, burgers, fries, milkshakes, sodas. So you make your order. You go around the building to the second window. Takes you less than a minute to get your food. Despite that long line that I mentioned earlier, takes you less than a minute to get your food. Now, Pal's has no indoor seating, so you pull into the parking lot, and you park your car to eat your food. And when I tell you, it is the best fast food burger that you've had in your life, I'm not exaggerating. It is the best fast food burger that you have had in your life. The cheese is actually melted. Every single ingredient, from the lettuce to the tomatoes to the actual beef on your patty, is so good and fresh that there's literally no comparing it to something like a McDonald's or a Wendy's. And that's why everyone here in East Tennessee loves Pal's, because we know that you can only get Pal's within an 80-mile radius of Kingsport, Tennessee. But why is that? Why do only we get this fast food restaurant that I cannot express this enough is better than literally any other fast food restaurant that you'll go through that just serves like burgers and hot dogs? It is so good. I have not met a single person that doesn't love Pal's that lives anywhere near me. It is such a cultural thing here that you have to be a part of, even if you just visit. But why do we just have Pal's? If it's this successful and everybody loves it, why don't they expand past this 80-mile radius that they have of Kingsport, Tennessee? Well, to answer that, we have to go back to the 1950s when the first Pal's Sudden Service opened, when a Mr. Pal Barger decided to. Now, he had been in the restaurant industry before with his family, but he wanted to be a little bit more simple, do something a little bit more fast food like. That was kind of coming on the up and up, with McDonald's also being established in the 1950s, 1960s. So the original menu consisted of items that are still in the menu today, actually. So he had sodas and milkshakes, of course. He had French fries. He had a chipped ham sandwich, which is honestly pretty good. It's just ham sandwich meat with mayo and pickles, all that good stuff. And he had a sauce burger. Now, the sauce burger is interesting. Like I said, it's still in the menu today. It actually was derived from a need for efficiency from Pal. The sauce burger is this little monstrosity that Pal's workers will take. They'll dip it through a sauce that Pal Barger invented himself that is supposed to emulate the taste of pickles, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, all in one on the patty. Throw it on the buns, good to go. Throw it to the customer. It is still a beloved menu item. Obviously, it's still in the menu since the 1950s. People still love it, and it's still their go-to order. That shows that Pal's has been such an integral part of this community for so long, is that you have these people that have drank the Pal's Kool-Aid, I guess, and just genuinely think the sauce burger is the best thing that fast food has to offer.
So good.
Pal's sauce burger is the best.
The sauce burger, which is my personal favorite.
If you all have noticed, I don't generally get burgers where I go. It's because I'm not really a burger guy. But
so after the opening of his first Pal's, he finds success, and he shortly opens a second location nearby in Kingsport, Tennessee. And after some trial and error with Pal's business, his father unfortunately dies in the early 70s. So after this, Pal has to step in to run his father's sit-down restaurant that he has, which is very different from Pal's. It's not a fast food place. It's sit down. They have things like steaks, baked potatoes, like that kind of place. And Pal's gets put on a back burner for a couple of years until Pal's is like, you know, I really want to focus on my father's legacy, but I have my own thing going on back here. I need to hire someone to focus on that for me. And this is when the weird kind of cult-like culture within Pal's starts to form. And that person that he hires is Tom Crosby. Now, before we get into Tom Crosby's story with Pal's, I want to start with where his whole fast food industry story began, because it's kind of interesting. So Tom Crosby actually started his career at McDonald's when he was in high school. Now, he started working at McDonald's because he wanted to become a doctor, and he wanted to work at McDonald's to pay for med school. I know. So Crosby becomes one of the only people in human history to actually fall in love with customer service within the fast food industry. And he's like, hey, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to pay for med school. I'm actually going to work at McDonald's forever. This is what I want to do. This is what I love doing. I want to make my way up here, and which he does. And he wants to save up his own money to become a McDonald's franchisee and open his own location and kind of run that. So that's what he is focusing on when a former supervisor calls him up and is like, hey, I just got offered this job from this guy in Kingsport, Tennessee, and I'm retired and I really don't want to take it, but I think you would be a great fit for it. So dude calls in for the rest of his shift, and he drives down to where his former supervisor and Pal Barger were having a discussion about the future of Pal's sudden service. And that's where Pal offers him the job of essentially running these two Pal's locations. Pal says, you have creative liberty over the menu, over the restaurant itself, over how the employees are hired and trained. You have all of it, while I focus on my father's sit-down restaurant. And Tom Crosby is like, well, I've had this plan in mind of moving up at McDonald's and having my own franchise, that kind of thing. But with Pal's, he immediately sees this in of all of these creative liberties that he would not be able to have at McDonald's. See, Pal gave him creative liberties over the menu. He could put whatever food he wanted out. At McDonald's, you absolutely could not have that. You know, you have your Big Mac, you have your McDouble, you have the things that you have to put on the menu. You don't get to make up your own double junior burger with cheese like Pal's does. So Crosby admires that creative intuition that Barger is putting on the table for him and immediately takes the job. And with that, it is now Tom Crosby running the two Pal's locations while Pal focuses on his father's sit-down restaurant. So Crosby pretty much achieves this idea of the American dream that is totally impossible right now. This man didn't go to school. He worked at an entry-level job at a fast food chain to try to pay for med school. And coincidentally ends up to be, spoiler alert, the future CEO of this lucrative local fast food chain. So within 10 years of Crosby being hired, Pal's went from 2 to 5 locations. Despite being given free reign of the menu, Crosby really decides to focus on people first. While deciding on operational changes regarding training to the staff, Crosby discovers the Malcolm Baldrige National Criteria. Now, the criteria are for the Malcolm Baldrige National Award, of course, and it's really just this kind of corporate award that's saying that you're doing a good job following to this certain criteria of business standards, leadership, practices, operations, all that good stuff. And any U.S. company can basically write in for an opportunity to receive the award if they are upholding these exceptional standards. Crosby committed to this criteria so that Pal's could earn this distinction in the future. So after Crosby decides that he wants to earn this award for Pals, he starts to look at the business in different ways. And one of the first things he does is he's looking at this sandwich be assembled, and he's like, this is kind of an automated thing. He said that he saw the Big Pal being assembled on the line the same as a Ford motor being assembled on the line. So this led to several automated distinctions that Pal still has today.
And as we were using the Baldrige criteria, the big aha came to us. The biggest aha was that we're not in the service business. We're a manufacturer. We're no different than Ford Motor Company. We bring in raw material, some pre-processed material. We have standardized processes. They build F-150 pickup trucks. We build Big Pals.
Now, Pals are typically a large rectangular building that the company owns. But as I mentioned earlier, they're drive-through only. You can't go in there and sit down. This building is configured in such a way to distribute ingredients in an effective way straight to the consumer. Another thing Crosby took a look at was training. Crosby decided that Pals should be focused on education as well. Starting from within, they developed a 4-step training process that is incredibly hands-on compared to other fast food chains. New employees at Pals get 120 hours of training, and that is after employees have already taken a 60-point psychometric survey just to get hired on. And then after their training, all employees are subject to random pop quizzes throughout the day on the different stations that they're trained in within their location. Not to mention, all leaders are required to spend 10% of their time teaching others. Managers at Pals are never hired externally. If one is to become a general manager over a Pals location, they must have a minimum of 4 years hands-on training specifically at a Pals. They don't care if you ran a McDonald's franchise for 20 years. You have to have at least 4 years of training at a Pals to become a general manager there. But we'll talk more on that later. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey, Picto, that sounds like it fucking sucks. You have to do all of this training. You have to have random pop quizzes daily. Your leaders have to spend 10% of their time training, so they're always breathing down your neck, trying to figure out something to tell you. That sounds like a horrible place to work at. And take it from me, the service industry sucks to work in. I've worked in it since I was a sophomore in high school, and sometimes you just have to find your silver linings. But there are lessers of the evil, and Pals does seem to be one of those. Pals actually has a turnover rate that is 1/3 of the fast food industry average. At the time that my source was written, only 7 general managers in over 30 years of operation have voluntarily chosen to leave Pals. I work in retail, and I have probably had 7 different managers leave since I started at my one location 4 years ago, let alone the entire company. So that's a really impressive standard. But the education of Pals goes way beyond the training. So once Crosby made it a point to follow the Baldrige criteria, other local businesses in the area began to notice Pals' success. So Crosby began to hold these free sessions where he told others about the strategies that Pals was using to succeed. See, Crosby didn't want to withhold this new information that was making Pals so successful from others within his community. He saw other local businesses succeeding as more jobs within the community. And more jobs meant more people out eating food, which meant more people going to Pals to spend their money and eat food at Pals. It was also an incredible way for Crosby to network and find any other strategies that he needed to be implemented from other leaders. The sessions were a huge hit. They did them monthly, and the seats were always completely filled. And then these sessions eventually evolved into the Pals Business Excellence Institute, a program where any representative from any business globally can visit us here in little old East Tennessee and hear about what makes this little chain so incredibly successful. So they did these locally. Local businesses started following these Malcolm Baldrige criteria and decided to do what Tom Crosby was telling them to do that made Pals so successful. Then they found success within their own industries. And then more and more people just kept coming in until Tom was like, okay, we're opening this to the entire world. And they still hold these meetings today. And we still have people globally coming to Kingsport, Tennessee just to learn about why this little fast food chain has become so successful and why we are only here in East Tennessee. So at this point, with the Powell's Business Excellence Institute, we're at 12 locations. And then Crosby becomes the official Powell CEO in 1999. This, of course, led to Powell's becoming the first fast food restaurant to win the Malcolm Baldrige Award in 2001, which was Crosby's goal the entire time, with reevaluating all of these strategies that Powell's used within the industry. But like I said, the education within Powell's culture runs deep. Tom Crosby, the CEO, even has a master reading list of about 21 titles for all Powell's managers. And every other Monday, he invites 5 managers from one of the 32 different locations to come in and discuss one of the books on the reading list, sort of as a book club. Okay, so I think I've made my point about Powell's being the best in the business. They have streamlined their small menu in such a way that they consistently deliver food that simply outdoes any national chain in literally every single way. People from all over the world come here to find out Crosby's secret, which he's been sharing with communities for over 20 years now. And hell, I endorse it. Look at her. Look at Powell's. Look at how beautiful it is. Look at how fucking good the food is. It's really crazy that something that's this automated and this corporation-like can be so good and so consistent every single time. Anytime I go to McDonald's, every time I order McDouble, it's a different fucking sandwich every single time. You are not going to get that kind of experience at Powell's. It still begs the question, why do only we have it, despite the major success for over 60 years? Well, remember what I said earlier about Powell's general managers having to train for a minimum of 4 years? That's no short amount of time. And Powell's does not do external hires for those upper management roles. We saw how seriously Crosby takes his training and education, so he will only open a store if it has a 100% successful leader that he can't not build a store for. And the rest of their market has already been 100% dominated. If he doesn't need to put any resources in any other part of the business, and he has this person here that is perfect for running a Powell's already, and everything's already set and go, then he can open a new store for this person that is perfect for the role of a general manager. Crosby has stated that growth for Powell's means investing in people and leadership development. Crosby states that growth is not just about markets or demographics. It's people ahead of everything else.
Well, I think at the heart of the restaurant industry and hospitality is the human connection. And if you focus on a region, and it's a reasonable region that you can get to, if a store needs anything, any assistance, my goal is to serve the stores the best way possible. I can get in a car and within an hour or so, be at any location and support it, and the customers can see us. And that's why I answer all the emails that come in. So it's that personal touch that says, I believe in the community. And then if you have that personal touch with the community, it makes you have more empathy for the community and you a bigger desire to see that community succeed and thrive.
Yeah.
And to give back to it.
So there you have it. It might seem a little culty with the internal book club and the grooming of managers and all that, but it's an investment in people over profit. It's an investment in knowledge. And it's really an admirable philosophy in the state of capitalism that we live in the ruins of today. Powell's isn't growing into a beast like McDonald's because it simply does not have the same corporate model or philosophy whatsoever. Just because there's a lot of something around the country doesn't mean that it's found its success by generally having really good food and really good service like Powell's does and like McDonald's does not. McDonald's is actually often regarded to as a real estate company because a significant portion of their revenue only comes from leasing properties to its franchisees. So that's probably why their food often tastes like an afterthought. But you know what doesn't taste like an afterthought? Pals. So if you're ever driving through East Tennessee or you have family that lives here, come see your Aunt Shirley. Buy yourself and her a double big pal and see just what I'm talking about.
How does Dad make such delicious burgers with 2 all-beef patties, cheese, creamy mayo, fresh tomatoes, and lettuce on a toasted bun?
Wait. This looks just like a double junior with cheese from Pals. Honey?
Another homemade burger up.
Where's mine?